Just wait. Let's wait for 2 more minutes. Alright, so hi everyone, welcome back to episode 8 of Think Small. And today we are discussing everything about Indian heritage and Karigari and how Sparrow clothing is reviving it through fashion. So let's add Shubhangi Mishra with us. Now, who's the co-founder of Sparrow Clothing. So let's wait for 2 minutes for her to join. Hi Shubhangi, I guess you're viewing this live right now. If you can join through your Sparrow Clothing's account. Alright guys, let's wait for 2 minutes for Shubhangi to join.
Yes, so she'll join in a minute. Yeah.
Hi Dikshita. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me, first of all. And I think this is such a nice initiative that you've started. I mean, like you're supporting small businesses and like telling their stories to everybody. I think that's such a nice initiative. I love it.
I think it's really valuable for us as well, learning everything about how you all run your businesses and everything that goes behind the Instagram, just the website and the photos that we are seeing right now. So it's really nice for us also to learn everything from you. So Shubhangi, why don't we start with like how you started Sparrow, what inspired you, and what has been your journey till now?
So I'll start with like starting something from scratch and starting something of my own has always been my dream. Like since I was a child, since school days. So as soon as I passed out from my college and I gained some industry experience working with some really good designers, I wanted to start something of my own from a really long time. So I just started to like market research on how like what I can go ahead with. Something that really struck me was that I couldn't find comfortable clothing that looked good. So a lot of my shopping issues came from the fact that I couldn't find really like something to wear from day to night and something I could be comfortable in, but at the same time, it shouldn't look boring at all. So that was the idea when I started Sparrow. But then when me and my partner, when we sat down and when we discussed on ideas, we thought, why not just do it the right way, why should we be using plastic in our packaging, and why should we be using synthetics? So the idea of sustainability is kind of ingrained in my brain since I was a child, because my mom is like a sustainable person. We don't use this word in our household, but she has always been the kind of a person who's using everything to the T, like every Indian mom. Most of us are like that. We've been raised to be sustainable even when we don't know
Yeah.
it. So like reducing wastage and just using everything, reusing everything, and not like making sure not everything goes to waste. So I was raised with that mindset, and I really believe in sustainability from the time that when I didn't even know what it meant. So it automatically translated into our brand, and we always want to work with someone with the Indian heritage. And right now our main source of surface embellishment is embroidery. So that is what we are working with, but we are exploring on hand block printing and something like using only sustainable fabrics like tencel and lyocell and hand woven cottons. So we're moving we're moving in baby steps, but I think we're moving ahead. So yeah, that has been my journey till now. It has just been 1.5 years. I think we've got a lot to do. We've still left a lot to do. So let's see.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you've talked about the karigari and everything. So how does that work? So do you have warehouse where everything works, or is it like, or are the karigars based in different parts of India?
Right now, we have a small workshop. So all the manufacturing happens in our own workshop, in our own studio, where we have a small team of 6 people. There's one Master Ji who does all the pattern cutting and pattern making and fabric cutting. Then we have just two artisans who stitch everything, and one artisan for the machine embroidery work. So all of them are from different, like small villages from UP and Bihar, and they have been practicing this art. This art has been in their practice from generations. So their father used to do it, their grandfather used to do it, but from the place they belong, it's kind of I feel like it's kind of dying out in small cities and everything. So they have moved out from there to big cities like Delhi and Bombay, where there are designers and there are industries who encourage art and who hire them for their livelihood. Most of them have left their families behind, and they're just staying here to just earn a livelihood and also hone their skills, because like if they don't have any other choice. If they stay back, they'll have to either indulge in farming or something else, because there is no scope in small cities to grow for karigars. So right now we just have a small team of 6 people who are working with us. In terms of hand block printing, we outsource the we work with we also work with local artisans, as well as we work with a lot of vendors from Gujarat and Jaipur who are doing hand block printing in their own factories there. Plus, we give our own designs to them, and they kind of print it and send it back to us. So that is how it's working for us right now.
All right. And that's really nice that how, so many small businesses are coming up and, employing these karigars, retaining the Indian heritage and everything. So like
Yeah.
in between, you said that you started around 1.5 years ago, right? So in between the pandemic also hit. So how was that
Yeah.
experience for your karigars and for your business?
The business obviously took a hit. We were just growing. We were just at a growing stage when the pandemic hit
Oh,
last year, and we had to shut everything, even though um, we had a lot of plans for the last year, but we had to shut everything. It has been slow since then, but we're kind of managing. We have the karigars who were working with us then are also working with us now, because we have sustained them. We have managed to sustain them, and we're very grateful for that. But I won't say it has been easy. It has been very,
yeah.
very difficult. There were a lot of plans that we couldn't incorporate, and there is a lot of products that I wanted to make and wanted to launch, but I couldn't do right now because of the slowdown and everything. But hopefully I'm just planning to bring it all back, and it will be slow.
Yeah.
The recovery will be slow, but I think this year maybe
It will.
we will be able to really incorporate what all we had planned. That's the hope.
It it will definitely be there. And Shivangi, with so many, homegrown businesses that have been coming onto this platform, and since the last pandemic, there have been the growth of so many new businesses. So, what
Yeah.
makes Sparrow Clothing unique?
I think every brand has their own unique voice. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of brands in the market. Even we follow a lot of brands. We see their work and what all they are doing, and we feel that every brand has a kind of unique voice to them and their own brand language, their own way of expressing their way of like yeah expressing their art. So I think what makes Sparrow unique is that we focus on making Indian, like we all our embroideries and all our surfaces are mostly inspired from nature and Indian crafts,
Yeah.
but all our silhouettes are Western. So we wanted to incorporate Indian and Western together. Plus, we what we focus mainly is on like comfortable, which I earlier said earlier that we want every clothing to be as comfortable that you can wear it from day to night, and
Mm-hmm.
comfortable breathability.
Yeah.
We also look for fabrics that are very lightweight and breathable. So most of our collection is
Mm-hmm.
summery. I think our what our brand represents and what our own voice is, that makes us unique from the other brands.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think it's a very beautiful combination of, Indian heritage and the Western silhouettes. Like someone in the comments also said that they love the cactus jumpsuit. And personally, I love those white shirts with the minimal design. That's really
Yeah.
beautiful. Like that's my personal favorite from the website.
So
And
yeah, so
yeah,
everything that you'll see will have something from inspired from the nature. Like the five shirts collection are inspired from fruits. Our first collection was actually inspired from the colors of sunset. So every piece had a color from the sunset. I clicked a lot of pictures. I really like to click pictures of the sky. I am obsessed with the sky, and a lot of my colors, actually a lot of my color inspirations come from the colors of the sunset. So that is like every piece you will see some or the other inspiration from the nature itself, and that is kind of what that is kind of a our brand voice, I would say.
yes, that's a beautiful thing. And so every business wants to solve this one thing when they start. Like, how do you get your initial customers? Like, how did Sparrow Clothing get the initial customers?
For us, we feel that starting point about after 3 to 4 months we launched officially.
Mhm.
We started to gain like little customers through our Instagram, but the main I think the main push came from one of the exhibitions we did in December 2019 in Bombay. We're a Delhi-based brand, and for the first time, we traveled to Bombay for a physical exhibition, and there the response was amazing. I really like the people really liked our clothes. They were able to touch and feel the fabrics, and they really liked the colors and embroideries and everything. So I think that was the turning point in our business when things really started to like kickstart, kind of a kick. We got a kickstart through that exhibition. The response was amazing. After that, the audience kept growing on Instagram as well, and we started a lot of digital marketing campaigns through which we, um, got our main customers from there. After that, of course, the pandemic hit us in 2020, so things again slowed down. But yeah, so I think for us, physical exhibitions have worked wonders. I think a lot of our Instagram community also comes from the exhibitions that we do, because people, as much as online is booming and everything, but people really like to see and feel this, like the
Yeah.
stuff, and see it with their own eyes. So that is all
Yeah.
I think.
And understood, understood. And so, like what is your plan for like going ahead for the next year? I know nothing will go as planned, like may not go as planned, but
Yeah.
like still, what is that, like what is the plan for next? Are you planning to get onboarded in any of the e-commerce platform, or are you planning to grow your website?
For the next 1 year, I plan to launch everything that has been in the pipeline for the last 1 year, and we haven't been able to do that. Um, one of our one of our projects is converting our fabric waste into some DIY projects and some craft projects, which we can. A lot of our waste is actually used in scrunchie, like products like scrunchies and bookmarks and masks and everything. But I want to launch more and more products, more and more upcycled products, so that we want to focus on a zero waste journey. So mainly going zero waste is what is the biggest plan for now, and we're working on that. We're working on a lot of upcycled products. Right now we just launched some scrunchies, but we're working on some bigger things as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's really nice to hear. And I also personally like, the cloth scrunchies. And I wish I knew how to sew, because even like in our household, we have so many clothes just lying around, and I wish I could
Yeah,
sew them into so many other things. So
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
and another thing was that I saw your like I don't know if it's a collaboration or what, with I think Diksha Rawat and
Yes.
another one I came across was Masu Miniwala. She also posted about a cloth from your brand. So how did that happen?
With Diksha, I guess we approached her because her style of fashion and whatever she expresses really resonated with her. We mostly work with influencers we feel that are vibing with the brand.
Yes.
So a lot of other collaborations happened when people like most of the influencers approach us when they feel that they are vibing with our brand and they can create content which will go with our brand image. And we kind of go through all the previous work that they've done, and then um, if we
Yes.
feel that they will vibe with our brand, we just go ahead with it. We do not give any brief to any creator we work with. We do not like tell them what to do. We just want them to express in their own ways and create whatever they are comfortable in creating. And I think we choose our creators that way, that the vibe fits with the
Yes.
brand perfectly, and that is how the content comes about. It's all about
Yes.
the content for us. We mostly do not look in the engagement and the follower rates. Mostly when we collaborate with the influencers, it's only about the content and if it is vibing with us.
Yes. And I think it's really important to give that creative freedom to the content
Yes,
creators as well. Yeah.
yes, it's very important, because otherwise, if you tell them at every step what to do, you won't get the authentic content that you approach them for. So then there's no point.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I agree with you. So, I guess coming to the last question of like, I really like to ask everyone this question, that what advice would you give yourself when you started? Like, with all the experience that you have got till now, what is that one advice that you would have given yourself?
The biggest advice would be patience, because not just because of the pandemic, but when you're starting a business and when you're starting, especially when you're starting with a small business and you are self funded, it is very important to have patience, because I didn't have any. I wanted to do everything at the same time, and I wanted to just run at a pace. But I think that is the biggest mistake I made. Patience is the key. Whenever you're starting out, patience should be. You should know that it will be a slow journey, and things will fall into place, but it will take time. So even now, I'm learning that lesson, and I think I am a lot better than I was 2 years back when I started. So yeah, that would be the biggest lesson.
Awesome, awesome. So thanks a lot. I guess we have learned a lot from your journey and how, Sparrow Clothing plays such an important role reviving the Indian culture and employing the karigars, helping them out in this tough times, and still, like personally, we also want to incorporate Indian in our culture, in our clothing, but it's not very easy in for the everyday clothing. And I guess Sparrow Clothing is the perfect place where we can right now go if we want to have that Indian touch in our clothing. So thanks a lot, Shivangi, for doing this with us. For everyone, please check out Sparrow Clothing and please order from them. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dikshita, for doing this. I love this conversation, and I think I'm going to do a lot of lives from now on.
Yes, that would be wonderful. The audience would also love to know you more.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yep. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.